Hello and welcome to our presentation that we have entitled Coming Back Better Than Before, the Remodeling Project of First Lutheran. To help us understand our project and where we were, we thought it would be beneficial to take a look at what occurred back in August of 2021. On two Saturday mornings, early Saturday morning, there were two severe weather events that came through the Sauk Center area. Both events caused debris to blow on top of the roof of our education unit, causing the drain to plug and the water to build up. It entered in through a vent hood on both occasions, flooding both the main floor and lower level of our education unit of our facility. Here you see pictures from the first storm and the lower level of our education unit. You can see the water came through the ceilings and puddled and was collected on the floor, not only on the main level but also downstairs. There was extensive water damage. This is a picture of our family restroom next to the nursery on the main floor. It received severe damage, as did damage occur in the Christian Life Center storage room. Well, where have we been? If you didn't know it, First Lutheran is 142 years old this year. We were formed in 1881. Our previous church was located one block to the north of where we currently are. The sanctuary part of our facility was built in 1954, and the congregation walked that one block over to begin its ministry here in our present location. In 1969, a decision was made to add an education wing, a two-floor education wing. In the year 2000, First Lutheran began a two-phase master plan that was developed and money was raised to begin phase one. Phase one of the master plan was completed in 2004. In 2016, we had a series of visioning sessions that was done by our church council and the committees. In those sessions, many items were lifted up as things that we felt were important as we continued to move forward to be a vital congregation now and into the future. Many of those items identified in that visioning session are now included in this proposal. In 2017, the mortgage for that phase one addition of almost $2 million was paid off. Here's what we were looking at back in 2000 and what was completed in 2004. You can see that what occurred here is up in this area. This is what is our existing Christian Life Center. This is our welcome area and our office complex right here. The lower level had more Sunday school rooms and an education office added, as well as restrooms. This would be the existing 1969 edition in the lower level, and that would be the 69 edition here on the main level. Like I said, it was a project that cost nearly $2 million to complete. But there was a second phase. The second phase included the addition of a brand new sanctuary off the south of our building. This right here is what is our current entryway into First Lutheran. This is the welcome area, right in this area. A brand new narthex and a new nursery would be constructed to go along with this new sanctuary. So who would have thought that out of disaster, the opportunity to fulfill a modified version of the master plan would happen? Well, we certainly didn't, but perhaps God did. So what does the project look like? We have the option of simply putting back things the way they were. Now, this drawing does include the blueprints for some changes, but basically what we would have is the existing music office, that middle, which was the original main office. This would be the library. This area here is the nursery. This over here would be the storage unit, and of course the entry into the Christian Life Center. The lower level would be all restored as well, back to the way they were. Or we have thought about putting together that vision from our visioning sessions, as well as taking a look at that original master plan. And so we have this option. Expand our library. Instead of the wall being here, we would take that wall out, move the beautiful bookshelves over to this wall, connecting these two rooms and creating a brand new library adult education room. This space is actually larger than our current set-aside adult education room. The existing choir office or music office would remain the same. It would be updated, and we look forward to those changes. Across the hall on the main floor is where you see a lot more changes. You'll notice the entry into the Christian Life Center is no longer there. It's now the storage room. What was the storage room over here is now expanded, and becomes a kitchenette to allow for full service use of our Christian Life Center. There is now a hallway that would exist. This right in this area is the former family restroom. There is now a hallway that goes through here that would enter into the Christian Life Center. So you would not have to walk all the way down the hallway now to get into the Christian Life Center. This hallway is created in part of what was the large nursery. The nursery changes. There is a smaller nursery down here, and the reason why we think we can do a smaller nursery is because we have discovered over this past year the creation of a little nursery space in the welcome area near where the coat racks are is well used, and it is attracting young families to actually remain and enjoy coffee and fellowship while their older children are in Sunday school and their pre-Sunday school age children have a place to be. We're finding a lot of life and vitality happening out in our welcome space. What will be changing in that nursery space is the family restroom will move a little bit more towards the east, and there will be an addition of a mother's room for all mothers who are nursing. We heard that request over the last few years. There will be also a refocus of our lower level. What we mean by that is when you go downstairs and you get to that floor, you will notice right away that the focus with the decorations and the whole vibe and energy is all geared to children and youth, our next generation ministry. Now that's all the education space. So this area, this is all that 69 edition. This area would be our preschool through kindergarten programming. Over here would be our lower elementary programming. This is our existing youth room. And we would use this space and also take on that other classroom space over here for our upper elementary, middle school, and high school ministry. So again, you would walk down as a young person and find a place that is completely geared to you and to your faith growth, and a place where you would be welcome to hang out and spend some time. Our existing fellowship hall downstairs will have no changes done to it except for where paint is peeling because of water penetration. That would all be rectified, both here in our fellowship hall and in the hallway leading into the fellowship hall over in this general vicinity. There would be a new Wi-Fi HVAC thermostat system, which would allow for the controlling of the thermostat to happen right from our main office. We believe the addition of this HVAC thermostat system will actually in the long run save us money on electrical and heating costs, because we don't have to heat large spaces continually or forget that we had turned on or turned off thermostats. We'd be able to plan ahead and have those rooms ready to go for use. We would also add a security system. We know that that is where we're at today, the need to make sure that our facility is secured at all times. Outside, you would see a brand new outdoor digital sign, likely this one right here. You can see that it is on the base of our existing sign right now. Our cross remains. All that is gone is that old sign that requires you to slide in letters and numbers. This will give us the opportunity to inform people of what is happening within the walls of First Lutheran Church and be an invitation for them to come and see and to join us as well. We will also update our welcome area. As you know, we created a coffee bar a few years ago, and unfortunately, once it was completed, COVID hit and we weren't able to fully utilize it immediately. Since that time, and since we've been able to come back, as we said earlier, this area has become exceedingly popular. People are spending time here, they're enjoying coffee and fellowship, and there's that little play area for kids over here. So we want to give this area a little upgrade by replacing the carpeting that was installed back in 2004. We would also change the entryway over here on the east side of our building. Those are security doors that are wearing out and are really not providing a lot of protection from the outside elements. And then to help us fulfill that phase 2 plan, we are proposing a turn of the sanctuary. This is where the sanctuary is right now. This would be the overflow area. And of course, the focus is up here on the altar area. We're talking about taking it and turning the sanctuary. No exterior walls will be removed in this process. This will take out of a site issue, or a blocking of the site, those pillars that are over here in the Christian Life Center. We will be able to position chairs so that people will have a direct sight to our area, our altar area, where the function of worship takes place. The back wall that separates the Christian Life Center from the worship space will be removed and replaced with a glass wall with doors that will open into the worship space, allowing for our Christian Life Center to become the new overflow seating for large worship events. There will be a monitor, a visual monitor here in the Christian Life Center. There will be 2 monitors placed in the overflow, what is our current overflow area, and 2 monitors would be up near the altar area, allowing for people to see the service and see the liturgy and the words of the songs up on the wall. That doesn't mean we will not have hymnals. We will keep our hymnals and use them, especially for those of you that enjoy singing the 4-part harmony. To accomplish all of that, we're going to need a new updated sound and video system. And instead of that being up here in the balcony, that booth will be moved down to this general area. This is where the light switches are, the breaker switches are for the sanctuary. Control of those lights now will move into the sound system booth, the sound and video system booth. So it will give us the opportunity to dim lights for special services like what we do on Good Friday or what we do on Christmas Eve when we sing Silent Night. The existing altar area will be repurposed and used for the place where the choir will sing and also where our bell choir will be. There will be space for a team that will help lead modern worship over in this area. Here is where they figure the grand piano will be. This is the organ, where the organ is. The organ is currently right in this general area, but that will move more up front. There will not be a storage room back here, but more of like a storage box so that we don't block the beautiful stained glass windows here. The stained glass window cross will still be easily seen, and all of the natural light will still be present. The reason for this storage box is that we need to add, to be in compliance, a ramp for those who have disabilities to access the altar area. So that is what will happen in the sanctuary. Again, it's just a slight turn, and it really opens us up to create a much more welcoming and a more warm feeling space. Your back row is not as far away from the front as it is right now. So what does all this cost? Well, just to simply restore what was damaged, the estimated cost is $137,171. Now what we're asking is that we consider going in and fulfilling our original phase 2 plan, as well as updating, giving a fresh update to the damaged area and our welcome space here at First Lutheran. So what do those figures look like? Well, here's another $248,000 on top of that previous amount. Takes care of really all of the education wing enhancements and the welcome space enhancements. The cost for the turning of the sanctuary, excuse me, comes to roughly $429,330. If you add all those figures together, the proposed total cost of this coming back better than before remodeling project comes to $815,006. Now, if you must factor in a plus or minus 20% to factor in depending on market conditions and bidding climate at the time of the competitive bidding stage. So can we do it all? That's a very good question. Well, if history can be our guide, then the answer is yes, we can. In 2000, when the whole master plan was put together, $540,000 was pledged before the ground was ever broken. That amount in 2022 dollars is the equivalent of $881,649. So let's do this. Let's do the worst case scenario that it's a 20% overage on the projected budget for this remodeling. So if we add that 20% to the original quote, we come to a total of $978,007. We have using 200 giving units as a base, and thinking that each giving unit could give equally. We know that's not the case. We know there are some who cannot give as much, and there are some of us who can give more. But on average, it would be $4,890 per unit. Now, we paid off the phase 1 plan in just 14 years. So let's take this on. And while we will get a loan to pay for this remodeling project, it'll be our goal to try and pay off that loan in advance. Let's get it done in 7 years, since this is less than half the cost of that previous project. So taking that $4,890 per giving unit and spreading that out over 7 years, that's roughly $699 per year per unit, or $13.44 a week. Here is an outline of how long they think it will take to complete our project. Now notice that we are behind a bit here with that determine the final scope of work and engaging working drawings. We're not sure how much of that has been done right now, so we'll get an updated time frame once we have approved whichever way we're going to do this project, either just putting things back or going all in. But as you can see, really a lot of these things will take about 2 months to complete. So why should we do it? Well, we believe that a fully updated and complete facility will be something that sends a really hopeful, positive message to our community. Coming into our facility now, we have a wonderful building. But you can easily tell when you walk into our sanctuary that our sanctuary, aside from having that expansion over the overflow, our sanctuary still looks a lot like 1954, which isn't bad. And the beauty of our sanctuary, that beautiful wood ceiling, would remain in this remodeling project. But to be able to come in and walk through our building and see every aspect of our building updated and thinking about not just today, but what First Lutheran is going to be about in the future. We should do this because we need to have enhancements in our technology to enhance and grow our digital ministry. We are not going to ever stop being a church online. We have a congregation that is present online. But we believe enhancing our video and audio production, we can do an even better job for those of you who worship with us online. Plus, we believe that with these upgrades, we can also be a benefit for other churches that may be without a pastor. Perhaps our service could be recorded or streamed into their church building, where they could take part and worship with us as an extension of our church. We see a welcoming and modern worship space as one of the things that helps to entice people to want to come and see and come and experience God in the ways in which we share God here at First Lutheran. We're always thinking about ways that we can be a helpful friend to our community. And we believe that now, with the addition of a kitchenette in our Christian Life Center and having a full service Christian Life Center, we could see more groups coming and asking to use our facility for gatherings. We also see that we could use the CLC for maybe smaller funerals and not have to use the lower level. And of course, for our well-attended rummage sales and the luncheon that happens, the full service CLC will be a benefit. We're excited about the potential transformation of our lower level, creating a space throughout all the education space downstairs and that is dedicated to children and youth, our next generation ministry. It will be exciting to see young people go down and engage with each other and engage the gospel and learn about their faith. That being said, to have our adult education space now on our main floor, we believe will bring even more out and more involvement in education that we can provide for our adult ministry. Like I said before, expanding space for community usage. We want to be a partner, a good partner with our community. These are just a few of our thoughts. Now, how will the process go on April 10th? Well, we need 25% of our 447 voting members. So the quorum for the April 10th vote has to be 112 voters. Now, we have 3 ways of being a member, recognized as a member here at First Lutheran. Actually, we have 4. They are baptized membership, confirmed membership, voting membership, and associate membership. Those eligible to vote on the 10th must be eligible voting members. Now, a voting member is one in good standing who has made a financial contribution of record and communed at least once in the past year. The church council met after our first information session, which was such a wonderful event. It's been great to have information sessions where we can present, but you can also share with us. And in the process, we find ways that we can do this differently and better. But per request that came from that first meeting, the church council met virtually and approved the use of absentee ballot. This is allowed by our bylaws and constitution. Those who want to use an absentee ballot must request one from the church office. We are not sending out ballots to all of our voting members. Those ballots must be received back to First Lutheran no later than Friday, April the 8th. Those envelopes that come back will be counted. They will not be opened until April the 10th, but they will be counted so that we know how many votes we have to go along with our required quorum. Approval of this remodeling project must achieve 2/3 vote of those voting that day by either absentee ballot or in-person ballot per our bylaws. So I know that you're watching this online, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. If you have some questions or want to share some ideas, please feel free to reach out to us here at First Lutheran. There is time. We know we're in our final week, but we wanted to make sure you had a chance to see this. And again, want to encourage you to, if you can, to attend our final session in person, which will take place on Wednesday. We are looking forward to daring to think about what it could be like to come back better than before. We believe God is moving and moving mightily with us here at First Lutheran. And if it is God's will and God's plan for us, we are excited about the possibilities of what we will be like as we move forward into this new future with a new and updated First Lutheran Church. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and have a wonderful day.